Good morning, friends. Important video on one of the burning topic in GST Act on date: fake invoice, fake credit. Department has issued a circular number 171, dated 6 July 2022, and they are giving specific two situation, and then they are talking about demand and recovery. As on date, in case of fake invoice, tax is being demanded from both the person, supplier and recipient. So this circular is clarifying a position. In first example, when a registered person A is raising invoice to registered person B without supply of goods or services or both. So B is availing such credit and utilizing such credit. Question is, who is liable, A or B? What circular is clarifying, since A is only raising the invoice and without supply of goods or services or both, that is not a supply under section 7 subsection 1 of CGST Act. Hence it is not a supply, then there will not be any demand on A either under section 73 or 74. So there will not be any demand, no interest, no penalty on A. At most there would be penalty for specified offense under section 122 subsection 1 Roman 2 of CGST Act on A, because he is raising invoice, issuing invoice without supply of goods or services or both. That is specified offense, and specified offense penalty is higher of 20,000 rupees or amount of tax evaded. Now when they are saying it is not a supply under section 7 subsection 1, so there is no question of tax evaded, then only 20,000 rupees penalty going to be levied on A. That's what the interpretation is coming out. Coming to the B, who has availed the credit and utilizing the credit on such invoice issued by registered person A, there was no supply of goods or services or both. यानी B ने वो क्रेडिट ली. So what this circular is saying, since B has availed the credit and utilizing the credit without actual receipt of goods or services or both, which is one of the condition under section 16 subsection 2 for availing credit under CGST Act. So since B has not actually received the goods and services, and B has wrongly availed and utilized the credit, so B is liable to pay, and that too under section 74 fraud cases. So demand, interest and penalty going to be levied on B. Since this is being levied under section 74, one specific clarification given in this circular, that if panel action is being initiated under section 74, then B is not liable for any other panel action in the CGST Act as specified under section 75 subsection 13 of CGST Act. यानी इस ट्रांजैक्शन में ने ये क्लियर किया कि ए के ऊपर कोई डिमांड नहीं होगी, नो डिमांड, नो इंटरेस्ट, नो पेनाल्टी अंडर सेक्शन 73 एंड 74, क्योंकि ए ने जो इनवॉइस इशू किया था विदाउट सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज और बोथ, दैट इज नॉट ए सप्लाई, यानी ए से कोई डिमांड नहीं ली जाएगी. हाँ, ए के ऊपर स्पेसिफाइड पेनाल्टी अंडर सेक्शन 122 सबसेक्शन 1 रोमन 2 में ली जाएगी। अब डिमांड किसके ऊपर आएगी? बी के ऊपर, बिकॉज बी इज अवेलिंग द क्रेडिट एंड यूटिलाइजिंग द क्रेडिट विदाउट एक्चुअल रिसीट ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज। सो सेक्शन 16 सबसेक्शन 2 में जो एक कंडीशन है कि आप एक्चुअली गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज रिसीव करेंगे, हुआ नहीं, यानी आपको अभी क्रेडिट नहीं मिलनी थी, जो आपने ले ली, बी ने ले ली और यूटिलाइज किया, यानी बी से डिमांड किया जाएगा। Along with interest under section 50 and penalty under section 74 फ्रॉड केस स्पेसिफाई कर दिया, और उन्होंने कहा बी से और कोई भी डिमांड नहीं किया जाएगा एज स्पेसिफाइड अंडर सेक्शन 75 सबसेक्शन 13 ऑफ CGST एक्ट। सो इन्हें ये पोजीशन सारी क्लैरिफाइड की। अनदर सिचुएशन उनने पिकअप की कि मान लीजिए अगर 3 पार्टी हैं, रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन ए ने इनवॉइस रेज किया बी को और बी ने रेज किया सी को, और जिसमें एक्चुअल सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज नहीं है, ओनली इनवॉइस इज बीइंग इशूड, यानी बी उसी इनवॉइस पे क्रेडिट लेता है जो ए ने रेज किया, and then be passing on the credit to C without supply of goods or services or both, and C is ultimately availing credit and utilizing credit. So in this given situation, what would be the status of B? We have discussed that there will not be any demand on A under section 73 and 74 because that is not a supply. What happened for the B? He is only passing on the credit to C, and B has also not received the goods or services. He is only party in between. So this circular is also clarifying a position, and this position clarified H. There will not be any demand. So no demand, no interest and no penalty even on B, because he is only passing on the credit to C. So they are saying on B also we will not demand anything. We will not demand anything under section 73 or 74. But in this given situation, there would be 2 specified penalty for offences as prescribed under section 122 subsection 1 Roman 2, which is issuance of invoice, B is issuing the invoice without supply of goods or services, and second 122 subsection 1 Roman 7, he takes or utilizes credit without actual receipt of goods or services or both. So these are the specified offense for the penalty under section 122 subsection 1 going to be levied on B. Of course, he is availing such credit, and that too without actual receipt of goods or services. So same treatment, the demand would be made from C along with interest and penalty under section 74, that is being specified, and no other penalty penal action going to be taken against C if this demand is being raised under section 74 as prescribed under section 75 subsection 13 of CGST Act. यानी इनने ये कह दिया जब 3 पार्टी हैं A, B and C, तो ए का पार्ट तो हमने देख लिया कि ए ने सिर्फ इनवॉइस इशू किया, सप्लाई नहीं की, तो ए से कुछ डिमांड नहीं होगा। बी इज ओनली पासिंग ऑन दिस क्रेडिट टू सी विदाउट एक्चुअल रिसीट ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज, तो उन्होंने कह दिया हम बी से भी कोई डिमांड नहीं करेंगे अंडर सेक्शन 73 और 74, नो इंटरेस्ट नो पेनाल्टी। लेकिन बी के ऊपर 2 स्पेसिफाइड ऑफेंस की पेनाल्टी लग सकती है, एक इशुएंस ऑफ इनवॉइस विदाउट सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज, 122 सबसेक्शन 1 रोमन 7 में कहा कि he takes and utilizing the credit without actual receipt of goods or services, यानी ये स्पेसिफाइड पेनाल्टी 122 सबसेक्शन 1 की बी पे लगेगी. सी ने चूंकि ये क्रेडिट ली विदाउट एक्चुअल रिसीट ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज, जो उसे नहीं मिलनी चाहिए थी, और उसने उसको यूटिलाइज किया, तो यानी ये सी से डिमांड करेंगे, सी से मांगेंगे, and the demand would be raised along with interest and penalty under section 74 from C. अगर सी से ने ये मांग लिया तो सी के ऊपर और कोई पैनल एक्शन नहीं लिया जाएगा एज स्पेसिफाइड अंडर सेक्शन 75 सब सेक्शन 13 ऑफ CGST एक्ट. ये बातें तो इस सर्कुलर ने क्लैरिफाई की. फेक इनवॉइस, फेक क्रेडिट. बट द मूड क्वेश्चन विच इज supposed to be answered, and we all are looking for the clarity and clarification. When and how we are going to prove there is no underlying supply of goods or services or both? In trade, what is the practical problem? And you will agree with me, all of you, that being a recipient, I am having tax invoice, which is one of the condition under section 16, subsection 2, subclause A. I'm having a requisite tax invoice copy with me. I'm a recipient, I'm a buyer. I have received the goods and services, and I can prove by way of eBay bill is generated. There is a toll paid by the either supplier or recipient. When goods are being received at the premises, a photo is being taken, and there is a abatement done at dharam kata. Abatement is done. So that is endorsing receipt of goods at the recipient end, buyer's end. Third condition, as a buyer I am verifying my GST at 2A and 2B and confirming that my supplier has filed GSTR 1, it is getting auto-populated in GSTR 2A or 2B. And supplier has also paid the taxes through GSTR 3B. That is also being proven. And fourth condition, recipient regularly filing GST return. And fifth condition, which is effective from 1st January 2022, that credit is also getting auto-populated in GSTR 2B of the recipient buyer of the goods. Now how, and we are finding a lot of dispute in the trade, the supplier has not supplied the goods to the recipient, but recipient is saying, and they are saying with the supporting that we have tax invoice, we have received goods and services, eBay bill was generated, I have taken the photograph of the truck received at my premises, abatement is done through dharam kata. So receipt of goods is being endorsed that it is received. They are also checking their 2A and 2B and the status of GSTR 3B filed by the supplier. Recipient regularly, filing their GST return. It is getting auto-populated in GSTR 2B. अब ऐसे केस में underlying goods supply हुए या नहीं हुए? And lot of dispute किस लिए आते हैं? Either the preceding supplier, so I'm purchasing from A, let's assume, maybe A has purchased the goods from X, preceding supplier, or maybe L1 or L2 vendor, and there's some non-compliances on their part. Question is, why this allegation that B has not received the goods when he is substantiating and submitting these documentation before the department? This is not being clarified. Now, when this is not being clarified, this is again creating dispute and litigation in the trade as well. B, as a customer, as a recipient, is saying, I'm ensuring that A is filing GSTR 1 coming in my 2A or 2B. A is also paying the taxes through GSTR 3B, and B has taken all precaution. उसने eBay बिल भी जनरेट हुआ था, ट्रक का फोटो लिया हुआ है, ट्रक का वेटमेंट हुआ धर्म कांटे पे, वो सारी चीजें इसके पास है, बैंक के जरिए पेमेंट हुआ है। अब इस ट्रांजेक्शन का हम क्या करें? मे बी ए रीजन प्रीसीडिंग सप्लायर और L1 L2 उनने टैक्स जमा नहीं किया और दे आर नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट और their registration got cancelled with retrospective date. How we can say that credit can be denied for the B, ultimate customer and beneficiary, who has availed the credit and utilizes the credit? This also needs clarity. This is not being clarified in this circular. There has to be some sort of clarification which we were expecting, that when department is alleging that there was certain non-tax payment by the preceding supplier or L1 L2, so that is another challenge for a customer, for the beneficiary, that he can at most check the transaction from his immediate supplier. जिससे मैंने माल लिया उसके ट्रांजेक्शन में GSTN कॉमन पोर्टल पे देख सकता हूं कि उसने अपना 1 भरा कि नहीं भरा, जो मेरे 2A 2B में आ रहा है, मेरे सप्लायर ने 3B भरा या नहीं भरा, जो मैं देख सकता हूं, कस्टमर देख सकता है, बेनिफिशियरी देख सकता है। बट बियॉन्ड माई सप्लायर मेरे पास कोई विंडो अवेलेबल नहीं है। बियॉन्ड माई सप्लायर L1 वेंडर भी हो सकता है, L2 भी हो सकता है, मुझे नहीं मालूम उनने टैक्स का पेमेंट किया या नहीं किया, क्योंकि मेरे पास कोई विंडो अवेलेबल नहीं है। एक डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ इम्पॉसिबिलिटी है। हाँ, बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ रिसिपिएंट के ऊपर है, बायर के ऊपर है, बट वो अपने इमीडिएट सप्लाई की ट्रांजेक्शन चेक कर सकता है। बियॉन्ड दैट ही कांट गो एंड चेक whether L1 L2 vendors are complying with the GST law or not. Non-existent registration get cancelled with retrospective date. The time when I did the transaction, both were active number. So these pointers are still boiling in the trade, and we all are looking for the clarity. Subsequently, this circular is saying that demand and recovery along with panel action and prosecution can be initiated in a situation specific, one situation to another. They are also saying 122 subsection 1A, Red Bis section 132, whoever causes to commit or and retaining benefit out of it. So there are two provisions under section 132. When you read 132 subsection 1, whoever has committed or who causes to commit and retaining benefit out of it. Red Bis section 122 subsection 1A for the specified offences for penalty to be levied. 122 subsection 1A talking about 4 specified penalty: supply of goods or services without issuance of invoice, issuance of invoice without supply of goods or services, and on such invoice credit is being taken and utilized without actual receipt of goods or services, and somebody is taking and utilizing credit, ISD credit, in contravention of section 20 of CGST Act. These are the 4 specified offences for penalty to be levied on any person who causes to commit and retaining benefit, on any person whether you are registered or not registered, and penalty would be higher up to 20,000 or tax evaded or wrongly availed credit or utilized higher up to. Please be careful. And 132 subsection 1 is being referred whoever committed and causes to commit and retaining benefit out of it from 4 specified offences: supply of goods or services without invoice, issuance of invoice without supply of goods or services, and that is the way it is resulting into availing of wrongful credit or utilization thereof or erroneous refund. And last one, GST collected but not deposited beyond a period of 3 months from the due date. These are the specified offences which is called as a non-bailable offence under section 132 subsection 1. So these can be invoked independently, looking at the case, fact of the case, and that may vary from one situation to another situation. Though this circular is clarifying that who would be liable to pay the liability in case of fake invoice when there is no actual supply of goods or services or both, but still the boiling point, the burning point, there are lot many points which we are looking for the clarity. We wanted to have such clarity in terms of what happened if L1, L2 vendors are non-compliant and they have not filed their return. Their registration got cancelled with retrospective date, or they are non-existent. What is the onus on actual recipient? He can't see the transaction beyond his immediate supplier. So we have to really find out the answer to those queries and would be looking for the answer and clarification from CBIC. But appreciated, and there would be laudable clarification, at least to certain extent, from this circular number 171 dated 6 July 2022. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.